Morning at 8 and welcome to your next lesson while you are working from home. Today's English lesson is aimed for Wednesday the 24th of March 2021 and our title is How does the writer use language to present his views about Barnum and how he is presented in the movie? Today we're going to be looking at a newspaper article about P.T. Barnum and the Greatest Showman and to see how that writer portrays the character of P.T. Barnum within that article. But first things first, we have a retrieval quiz on the screen here. So make sure you're all prepared, get your pen, paper, get that date and title written down and then have a go at the 5 questions on the screen. Question number 1, what is a philanthropist? Number 2, what is a mercenary? Number 3, what is the definition of malevolent? Number 4, what is the definition of duality? And number 5, how could P.T. Barnum be seen as a good person? What qualities did we discuss yesterday that show he is caring and kind to others? Pause the video here, get those things done, play again when you're ready. Okay, hopefully by now you've managed to have a go at those questions on the screen along with getting the date and title written down. So I'm going to go through the answers now. Please check your work against the answers. If there's anything you need to edit or correct, please feel free to pause and do so as we go. Okay. So number 1 then was what is a philanthropist, or who is somebody who is philanthropic? Somebody who is philanthropic is somebody who is primarily concerned with promoting the welfare of others. They're caring of those around them. Number 2, what is a mercenary? Someone who is primarily concerned with making money at the expense of ethics. They're willing to do things regardless of the consequence. Number 3, what is the definition of malevolent? Showing a wish to do evil to others. Number 4, what is the definition of duality? It's the state or quality of being two or in two parts, a dichotomy. The belief that there are 2 parts to humanity. And then finally, number 5, how could P.T. Barnum be seen as a good person? And I'll leave this one a little bit more up to you. You might have said something along the lines of, he wanted to help those who featured in his shows, or for example with Tom Thumb, he was willing to pay all the expenses for Tom Thumb and his mum when they came to work for him, or anything like that, okay? So make sure you check your work against these answers. Pause the video again if you need to, but I'm going to move on to the main part of today's lesson. So once again, that big question, how does the writer use language to present his views about Barnum and how he is presented in the movie? And today's aims are to learn the definition of the word exploit, to explore a more modern perspective on P.T. Barnum, and to discuss the alternative views on Barnum that are presented in the article that I made reference to earlier. So first things first, let's look at this key word here then. The key word is exploit, and what this means is to make use of a person, situation or resource in a way that is considered unfair. And the word comes from the French exploit, meaning to use selfishly. And in an example, many children in developing countries are forced to work in factories and exploited by their employer. Okay, so your task in a moment is going to be to pause the video, get that key word written down, exploit, along with the definition, all right? If you want to include the icon as well, that's entirely up to you. But pause the video now, word, definition, play again when you're ready to move on. Okay, hopefully by now you've managed to get that word and definition down, and we're going to move on to the next part of the lesson. So, as we did mention yesterday, the character of P.T. Barnum might be familiar to some of you through this film, The Greatest Showman. And those of you who have seen this movie will perhaps notice that it offers a slightly different version of Barnum, but it is important to remember reality and consider the impact his actions had on others, okay? And I've just put a few key words on the screen here, okay? These are words that we're going to need to be aware of moving through to our article next. All right, so please have a read through those keywords there. If there are any you are unfamiliar with or unsure of, please write them down in preparation to read through the extract on the next slide. All right, we're now going to read through this. I have attached a copy of this on Show My Homework along with a copy of the glossary on the previous slide. So if you need to pull those up, or if you'd rather read through those rather than on this screen, that would be absolutely fine to do so. Okay, but they are there. If you want to pause this a moment and go and find those, please feel free to do so. But I am going to read through this article now, so please listen along if you're choosing to do so. Hugh Jackman's new film celebrates P.T. Barnum, but let's not airbrush history. The actor has painted the protagonist of The Greatest Showman as a cheerleader for outsiders, but the 19th century impresario found fame by exploiting circus freaks. Everyone loves a good circus movie, and everyone loves Hugh Jackman. His forthcoming P.T. Barnum musical, The Greatest Showman, looks to be a timely celebration of outsiderness and inclusivity, with its bearded women, tattooed men, little people and conjoined twins. His belief was what makes you different makes you special, Jackman has said of Barnum. You can be discriminated for that, but if you own up to it and we start to embrace everybody, then it can be what makes life special and fantastic. The problem is that the real-life P.T. Barnum was not exactly a crusader for social justice. Like many peddlers of the 19th century freak shows, Barnum was more interested in exploiting people than empowering them. He exhibited strange and savage tribes along with exotic animals, usually consisting of bewildered indigenous people or fake ones in costumes. His Circassian beauties were given fake afro hairstyles using beer. He also exhibited African Americans with birth defects, affirming their racial inferiority, and one of his earliest hits was Joyce Heth, a blind, partially paralysed slave who Barnum claimed was 161 years old, but she was only half that. When Heth died, Barnum held a public autopsy and charged spectators to watch. Something tells me we won't see Jackman doing that. Unsurprisingly, Donald Trump has been frequently likened by political pundits to Barnum. A professional fibber with a penchant for loud rhetoric, fake news and racial prejudice, he doesn't play down the comparison. Circuses and freaks have inspired some of cinema's greatest, strangest films. David Lynch's The Elephant Man, Jodorowsky's Santa Sangre, Alexei Balabanov's Of Freaks of Men. The best of them recognise that the sideshow is a distorted mirror of its audience, none more so than Todd Browning's Magnificent Freaks, made in 1932 and cast with genuine freaks. Many of them, like Johnny Eck, the Half-Boy, and Prince Randian, the Human Torso, were former Barnum employees. Browning, an ex-circus performer, shocked audiences by portraying them as sympathetic humans rather than victims or monsters. The real monster of the piece is the beautiful trapeze artist, who feigns love for a dwarf to get her hands on his inheritance, and is fatefully accepted into the freaks' unified community as one of us. If The Greatest Showman is a cheerleader for outsiders and atoning for the sins of the sideshow, that can only be good. But let's not airbrush history. Barnum and his colleagues were the problem, not the solution. They created and perpetuated ethnic stereotypes and cordoned off a swath of humanity as different. To really do Barnum's story justice, they would be better off making a horror movie. Okay, if you need to pause the video to go back over any of that, or if you want to refer to the copy that I've attached on Show My Homework, absolutely feel free to do so, but I'm going to move on here now. Okay, so your first task is going to be to take this article and to look at paraphrasing the article to achieve a clearer understanding, to show that you have a full understanding of what is being said. And what does it mean to paraphrase? To paraphrase means to express the meaning of something written or spoken using different words, especially to achieve greater clarity. You're essentially putting it into your own words. Okay, so I'll give you an example here. This is the title of the piece. Hugh Jackman's new film celebrates P.T. Barnum, but let's not airbrush history. And I put this into my own words here. The new film about P.T. Barnum doesn't show the full truth. Okay, and that's a paraphrase version of that sentence up there. I've reframed it in my own words to show that I understand what is being said. And we're going to move on to do this with the article as a whole. So if we look at that part on the top left there, all right, and I've done an example of paraphrasing this. The actor has painted the protagonist of The Greatest Showman as a cheerleader for outsiders, but the 19th century impresario found fame by exploiting freaks. In other words, on the right here, the writer feels that Barnum has been presented as a philanthropist who cares about the people in his shows, whereas in reality he used people to make money. Okay, so I'm rewording what is being said to show that I understand. And I'll have another go with the second example at the bottom here. Everyone loves a good circus movie, and everyone loves Hugh Jackman. His forthcoming P.T. Barnum musical, The Greatest Showman, looks to be a timely celebration of outsiderness and inclusivity, with its bearded women, tattooed men, little people, and conjoined twins. All right, and I've done this one again to show you how you may paraphrase this information. In other words, the writer feels that the film will be a positive portrayal of Barnum and the people who featured in his shows. Okay, that's what he's expressing there, even though we know throughout the article he says this wasn't necessarily the case. Okay, so having gone through those practice ones, your task is to now take these two paragraphs on the left-hand side and paraphrase them into your own words to show that you understand what is being said. I'll quickly read through them on the left, but then your task is to begin a sentence with, in other words, the writer, and then talk about what is being said in that paragraph. So reading through the ones on the left. The first one says, the problem is, the real-life P.T. Barnum was not exactly a crusader for social justice. Like many peddlers of 19th century freak shows, Barnum was more interested in exploiting people than empowering them. And then a second one there. If the greatest showman is a cheerleader for outsiders and atoning for the sins of the sideshow, that can only be good. But let's not airbrush history. Barnum and his colleagues were the problem, not the solution. They created and perpetuated ethnic stereotypes and cordoned off a swath of humanity as different. To really do Barnum's story justice, they would be better off making a horror movie. Okay, so pause the video here, complete that task now. Remember, you need to paraphrase those paragraphs into your own words. If you want to go back and look at the article or anything, or the glossary to check for keywords, that's absolutely fine. But pause the video and complete that task now. Okay, hopefully by now you've managed to complete that task. If you haven't, please keep the video paused and carry on. But otherwise, I'm going to move on with the lesson. So, now we need to look at this question here. What attitude is presented to the film and Barnum in the article? Is the writer positive? Are they negative? Are they a little bit ambivalent, which means they're sort of mixed or a bit contradictory, they're a bit unsure? And that's what I'd now like you to decide. Look back at the article if you need to, but I want you to decide whether the writer is taking a positive view, a negative view, or more of a mixed or ambivalent view towards P.T. Barnum. Once you have done so, I want you to copy and complete these sentence stems on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. The writer presents an attitude to the film and Barnum. Okay, that's where you'd put in your word either positive, negative, or ambivalent. And then you'd continue to say, despite the fact that he also believes, how does the writer present Barnum? Despite the fact that the writer believes Barnum is, he also believes that Barnum is. Okay, so portraying those different viewpoints. Pause the video, complete that task, play again when you're ready. Okay, hopefully by now you've managed to have a go at filling out those sentence stems. I am now going to reveal what I had put, so you have an idea of what an answer might look like. If you want to edit your answer at all, please feel free to pause and do so. But this is the answer that I popped here. The writer presents an ambivalent attitude to the film and Barnum, okay? And that means that he's presenting more of a mixed view. And this is because, as I explained in the second paragraph there, despite the fact that he thinks the film would do well, he also believes that it does not accurately portray Barnum and his exploits, okay? And this is what I consider to be true of the article. There's no doubt that he thinks the film would do well, but he is just concerned that history is not being portrayed accurately. So pause the video if you need to make any edits. Well done for completing the task, and I'm now going to move on to the last thing for today. So, for the final task, we need to consider this paragraph here from the end of the article. If the greatest showman is a cheerleader for outsiders and atoning for the sins of the sideshow, that can only be good. But let's not airbrush history. Barnum and his colleagues were the problem, not the solution. They created and perpetuated ethnic stereotypes and cordoned off a swath of humanity as different. To really do Barnum's story justice, they'd be better off making a horror movie. And what we're going to use this paragraph for is to do our final writing task to answer our big question, which asked, how does the writer use language to present his views about Barnum and how he is presented in the movie? And what I have given you at the bottom here is a sentence frame for you to construct your writing, to summarise your ideas. And it reads a bit like this. In the article, the writer presents Barnum as a d and d man. That's for you to include two words to describe P.T. Barnum, depending on how the writer presents him. So those two words are completely up to you, all right, to go in those gaps. This is evident when he writes, and this is where I'd like you to include some evidence, all right, include some evidence to support your argument, to support what you said about P.T. Barnum here. And then you need to go on to say which suggests that. Explain what the quote you include in here suggests about P.T. Barnum. On to the next part. This presents a different view of Barnum than in the movie. As in The Greatest Showman, Barnum is presented as d and d. And your task is to include two words there that describe how Barnum is presented in the movie, okay? Again, those two words are entirely up to you, all right? This is your interpretation. And then the final sentence here. The writer may have chosen to write this article because. Why do you think the writer chose to write this article? What did he want to achieve in doing so? What did he want to make the audience aware of? So pause the video here, complete this task, all right, just do the best you can, fill out as much of that as you can, refer back to the article if you need to, but hopefully you should be able to get what you need from this paragraph up here, but also go back and look at the glossary or keywords if you need to. So pause the video, complete that task, play again when you are ready. Okay, hopefully by now you've managed to have a go at the task, and that is the end of today's lesson. Okay, thank you for watching along and completing all the tasks. Send your work into your teacher, and your next lesson will be up again tomorrow. Take care.